Hello, everyone, and my name is Shivam, and today I'll be taking you through Microsoft Fabric Materialized Lakehouse Views. And I'm very excited to show it to you and how we do it and how we implement it. But before I open Timextender Data Integration, I want to clear things up because three things gets mixed up constantly, which are materialized views, notebook views, and table shortcuts. They sound similar, but they're not. So let me spend a couple of minutes on what each one actually is, and then we'll go and build the whole thing together. We'll open Time Extender Data Integration and will go from end to end. The first one is table shortcuts. This is the cheapest of the three, and I mean that as a compliment. A shortcut doesn't move your data at all. It just points at a table that already lives somewhere else. In our case, it will be the ingest lakehouse. And we built one layer up. No copy, no storage, no compute. The catch is the table has to be completely clean. That is, that there shouldn't be any transformation or any cleansing step or anything else. Think of it as how we enabled simple mode. The second, a notebook view. We shipped these last year. It's a full Spark SQL experience. If you live in Spark and you want that power, it is right there for you. It runs in Spark and it works a little differently from what SQL people are used to. And the third one, the one that we are here for, the materialized view. You write a normal custom view in T-SQL, the SQL that you already know, and then you flip one setting to persist it. Fabric pre-computes the results and stores it as a delta table. So instead of recalculating every time someone queries it, the answer is already sitting there. Compute it and ready. Here's why I am very excited to talk about it because we have a lot of customers and partners coming from the SQL world who don't know how to write Spark, and the learning curve can be steep. The materialized view is kind of the missing piece. It means you can do the lake house with all the performance without anyone needing to learn Spark first. All right, now let's get to it. So I'm in a prepare instance right here, my prepare lakehouse, and it's the storage is Fabric Lakehouse. One layer up, I've already ingested my Business Central data into my OneLake. Time Extender wrote all the Spark notebooks to do it, and I didn't have to write any of it. Now I want to pull all these tables into this layer. So I'm going to be opening my table selector and point it at my ingest lakehouse. There's everything setting up there. I'll grab 5 tables for this demo: customer table, item category, sales header, and sales line. You can drag them one at a time if you want, or multi-select and bring them all together. A fun, quick tip: while these come in, because renaming a pile of tables by hand gets old fast, Control plus E is your edit shortcut, and Control plus F is your wildcard search across your whole project. If you have ever lost a column in a big model, that one's a lifesaver. Now that the tables are in, we will build the actual model. Nothing exotic here. It's a simple star schema. Sales line is our fact table in the middle, and the rest hangs off it as dimension. The way I like to do it is right click, open the table in a new window, and drag and drop your joins across from one side to the many side. That's it. And this matter more than it looks because those relationships are what feeds the deliver layer later. And that's where your AI sits on top when you start asking questions on this data. One thing, if you're working with Business Central across multiple companies, we've only got one Cronus company here, so it's clean, but you've had several. Go down the system field at the bottom, grab the data area, and include it in your joins. Otherwise, you'll cross company boundaries and numbers can go sideways. Okay, so this is the shortcut that I was talking about earlier. Now you get to see what it actually does in the product. Take my Atom category table. It's clean. I'm not transforming it. It's just want it available in this instance and layer. So I go into table settings. I turn off enable physical valid table, and then I set it to full load. Apply OK and watch the icon change. It changes. That little change means that this isn't a physical table anymore. and I have not copied a single row. It's a shortcut straight from your ingest layer to your prepare layer. For performance, that's really nice because there's zero data movement for this one. But as I said earlier, it only works because this table is totally clean. No transformation, no cleansing, and nothing. The moment you need to touch data, make sure that it's a real table instead. So shortcuts are a tool for you to deliberately reach for, but not by default. Now I'll write my version notes like you have always, should always, in case you want to roll back or deploy everything and kick off the execution. And if you follow into the Fabric monitor, you can see what notebooks get generated, one overall execution plan that handles all the dependencies in the right order, which is the part you really don't want to be managing by hand. And then one notebook per table. It's not a black box either. You can open any of these and read exactly what Timextender wrote. But before the main event, let me show you the fork in the road. When you go to add a view, you get two options. One is notebook view, the one I mentioned, that's your full Spark SQL route. If Spark is your thing, that's where you go and it behaves like a Spark object. I'm not taking that path today for most of the people I've worked with and spoken to. The other one, materialized view, is something everybody was looking forward to. So let's do the custom view and turn it into a materialized view. Right click, custom view. I pick my schema, give it a name. I'll call this one top customers. And now I'm just writing T-SQL. Regular SQL, I'm pulling in customer name and number and summing line amount in total sales and summing a gross margin field. Two things on writing these. You can type it by hand or paste it as a script if you've already verified it somewhere else. Either way, drag the fields from the tree instead of leaving them as plain text. That parameterizes it, and that's what keeps your lineage intact as well. So if you rename a column later and you change it in one place, everything stays in sync. Skip that, and you'll be chasing the broken references later. Okay, here's the actual materialized part. It's almost anticlimactic how simple it is. I deploy the custom view first, read the fields, the normal stuff. Then I go to advanced and I click persist view. That one click is the whole thing. That's what turns a regular view into a materialized view. I'll deploy and execute it. And let's actually look at what happened because I don't want you taking my word for it. Here's the notebook time extender generated for that view. And there it is, create or replace materialized lake view. The moment I click persist, that's the statement it wrote and ran against the lake house. And here it is living in the lake house. See the view. It even gets its own little flash icon so you can spot it. There's the data pre-computed and ready. 15 customers with their totals already calculated, not recalculated on every query. And because the logic lives in the model, it's portable. If you got a staging layer and then a modern data warehouse layer, you build the view once in staging and just drag and drop it into the next data area. You're not rewriting it. That's the part I think is genuinely very, very useful day to day. Once production note, before I wrap up, for the refresh to stay efficient, turn on the delta change data feed property on both your source table and the view. Fabric will actually nudge you about it right in the workspace so you won't forget. So that's the whole loop. We brought tables down from ingest. We saw the relationship. We saw and created a shortcut where the data was clean enough to skip the copy and we didn't need to do any transformation. And then we built a materialized view with one click of persist and all in T-SQL and no Spark required. If you've got a customer sitting on Fabric or one who wants to be but is nervous about the Spark learning curve, this is the demo to show them. Grab the Lakehouse preview, spin up a prepare instance against your Fabric Lakehouse, and try the Persist view yourself. Takes about 5 minutes. If this was useful, you know what to do, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.